think back to this time last year, if you told me then about the journey I would go on, I would not have believed you. Girls like me don't meet angels when we're bringing in the washing. Girls like me don't receive personal messages from God. Girls like me don't get chosen to be the mother of Emmanuel, the Saviour. But that's the point, I suppose. With God, there's no normal. He's God. He will choose whom he chooses. And he chose me. It's such an honour. Such a privilege. It's such a responsibility. It's still hard to take it in. Sometimes I'm so peaceful and feel so blessed. And the next minute my mind will play tricks on me and I wonder whether I dreamt it all. My body's in no doubt what's going on. My stomach, my legs, my feet, my back, my heart. It's this incredible, overwhelming love for this child growing in me. And all the time knowing that he's not really mine. That God put him there. It was so hard for Joseph to understand at first.
I really didn't deal well with things at first. I felt bewildered and confused. But most of all, I was worried for Mary. I mean, there can be serious consequences for a woman who gets pregnant before she's married. I knew she would never betray me. She's not that kind of girl. But I was just so confused. Then I had this dream. It was so clear. I was to trust Mary, go ahead with the wedding plans, and everything would be okay. She was just having God's baby, that's all. What did this mean for me? I was to be the earthly father of the chosen one. I would have to provide for and protect God's son. Talk about turning things upside down. Eventually, I stopped overthinking everything and began to trust. I remembered all the stories in the scriptures of God's faithfulness, of his provision and his love. And he has chosen me to be part of a new story, a story of his love come down to earth. I feel inadequate for such a role, but I will do my best to be a good husband, a good father. I wish we didn't have to go on this journey, though, to Bethlehem with Mary in her condition.
It was a peaceful night on the hills, starry too. Jethro had commented on it. How bright the stars were. Just a normal night looking after the sheep. Jethro's lad, Ben, had fallen asleep. He wasn't asleep for long though. All of a sudden this angel appears. Really tall he was, and shining. We were terrified. We fell on our faces, not daring to look. But he tells us not to be afraid. Says he's got great news, that the Messiah is being born here in Bethlehem, and we can go and see him. We were just getting over that bit when all these other angels appeared. Hundreds of them. They lit up the whole sky. It was amazing. And the singing. I've never heard anything like it. It was so beautiful. I lost all sense of time. When the angels went, we just stood there, gawping at each other, unable to take in what had just happened. Eventually Ben says, "Let's go and see the baby." We just started running helter-skelter down the hillside, sandals flapping, arms, legs and robes flying everywhere, not stopping to breathe until there he was, in an outhouse, lying in an animal's feeding trough, just as the angel had said.
The first time I saw the strange star in the heavens, I wasn't at all clear about what it was. I had never seen anything like it. I knew that its appearance in the sky was extremely significant, but I wasn't sure of the details. I sought advice from my colleague Balthasar, who is older and wiser than I. He knows the course of every star in the heavens like the back of his hand. Over the next few days and weeks, We plotted the course of this new star as it travelled east. Balthazar became convinced that this star was the harbinger of an event that would change the world, the birth of a god-man, a king, a priest. But a man who could experience such pain and sorrow we could not imagine. Together we decided that we must follow this star to find the place where this god-man would be born. We wanted to see this world-changing event for ourselves, to worship the baby and to bring him tribute. We didn't know how long the journey would be, so we packed tents and provisions and set off with our servants and camels on a journey of anticipation, excitement and faith, following the wondrous star.